Can everyone hear me well? I'm usually pretty loud, so I don't know if I need this microphone. So my name's Mariam. Thanks for the intro, and thanks for the organizers for having me out here today, and everyone for coming out. I think there'll be a lot of great learning opportunities for everyone, including myself, from the great panelists here. So as you know, and probably why you're here at this event, is that you know that customer centricity has some benefits. And I'll be talking to one of the benefits that's especially important to us at TELUS, which is that it helps us minimize risk and it provides us opportunities to pivot. Oh, I have two title slides. All right, so this is a picture of our service design team. So we work with groups all across TELUS as an internal consultancy, you might want to call it, or a design thinking center of excellence. So if a team within TELUS wants to improve their customer experience, or they're going to launch a new product or service and they want to get some customer feedback, we're the team to go to. And maybe they just want to learn more about who their customer is, and we can help them with primary qualitative research to let them know what their customers are thinking. So I'll share a story. Recently, the TV team came to us, and they had an idea for a new package. Like Rogers and Bell operate here, TELUS in Western Canada offers TV services. So they had an idea for a package. It had a name, it had a price, it would have these features and these channels, and they had a bunch of spreadsheets that said, hey, this is going to be an awesome idea and it's going to make us money. So our service design team said, hey, what can we do? And we're going to get you some customer research to see what our customers think of this new idea. And you might have seen a Venn diagram like this before, and it really talks about what is the sweet spot for a new product, a new service, a new innovation, whatever your organization is working on. And that sweet spot is that intersection between something that is financially viable, so simplistically it makes you money or it reduces costs for your organization. It's something that is technically feasible. That's when your technology team says, hey, yes, we can actually deliver on this thing. And hopefully it's also desired by your end user or your customer who's going to be at the receiving end of this new product or service. So what we had heard from our TV team is, yeah, definitely going to make us some money and reduce some costs. And the tech team was excited to deliver it, and the leadership was super pumped for this idea. So we went off to go talk to some customers and understand what their content consumption habits are, why they watch TV, what are their motivations, behaviors, what's going on in the TV space for them. And we created a mock-up, a prototype of the package, and shared that with them and some other packages, and got some initial feedback. Like, is this a package that resonates with you? Do you value this, and will it fit into your life? And what we heard was a resounding no, that this is not a TV package I want, this doesn't fit into what I do, and I don't want this. So that put us in an interesting spot where you now have some new customer research that says maybe what your team is working on, what your team is really excited about, what your leadership's excited to fund, maybe isn't going to resonate with our customers. So what do you do in a scenario like that? It sounds simple, hey, we should pivot. But for anyone who's been in the scenario that I'm explaining where you have some customer feedback and maybe it doesn't align with your business and technical goals, or for anyone who's seen this episode of Friends where you're trying to pivot the couch up the apartment, it's easier said than done. So I'll be sharing 5 quick tips on what to do if you find yourself in this scenario and you're trying to change the minds and hearts of your organization to choose and prioritize customer centricity even when you're competing with business and technology teams and their priorities. So 1, champion the voice of the customer. So your customer doesn't come into your workplace every day, but you do. How can you be telling the stories of your customers authentically and sharing that with the widest group possible in your organization? The best thing you can do is bring your business and technology teams to the research you're doing with your customers so they can see firsthand what your customers are saying, what they're feeling, and if something doesn't resonate with them, they will be able to see that loud and clear. If that's not possible, something we do at TELUS is take video and audio recordings of the research we do, of course with customer permission, and then we can share that back with the business and technology teams, and they will feel and empathize with those customers a little bit more. While you're doing that, you have to empathize with your internal teams When you're in a customer insights or research role, it's easy to get caught up and say, we have to do what the customer says, but you can't forget that there are competing interests and priorities of the other teams. So how do you understand and align with them? And by empathizing with them, you'll get them more on board with listening to your customer insights. And you have to present other options. So it's not enough to go do a research study, find out that customers don't like your product and come back and tell that to your organization. That's definitely not enough. How do you make sure you're asking the right questions when you have customers in the room and you're doing research to find out a little bit more? What's their experience like? What are the gaps and pain points they're experiencing? So if it's not this TV package, how can we start designing for what actually are challenges for you? Or ask your customers to be a little bit more generative. If it's not this package, what would work? So one of the activities we ran was we printed out the package for them and they were able to cross out everything that they didn't like and then put in the features and channels that they did like, and that would be their customer idea. That would be their favorite package that they would be really excited to buy. But obviously, customer ideas might not be the business ideas. If I drafted my own TV package, it would have 1 million channels and it would be free. However, that doesn't make sense from a business and technical perspective. So you, as the owner of that customer research, how are you aligning those customer ideas to organizational objectives? And since you've empathized with your internal teams and you know what metrics are important to them, how do you translate this customer idea into something that can actually make business sense? And the last one I have here, very obvious, that I think should be addressed today at this event. Get your customer feedback early and get it often. The title of this was how customer-centricity helps us minimize risk, and it's really that idea of getting that customer feedback early. We really see the earlier that you're getting customer feedback, the more likely you are to pivot because you haven't put in all the risk and started moving really quickly towards this product launch. So even if your idea is just a concept, you haven't flushed it out, you don't even have mock-ups, that's fine. Can you just find a handful of customers and start understanding, does this work for them? Does this resonate with them? And understand who they are. This is a very simplified journey, definitely not as pretty as Hira's, of what it might look like when you're launching a new product or service. And the orange triangles are places where you can get customer feedback. You'll see that I've kind of put the orange triangles everywhere because they're all opportunities to get customer feedback. And again, the earlier you're getting it during the idea conception phase really provides you that opportunity to take that risk of pivoting rather than taking the risk and going all the way to market launch and then finding out what customers think. And make sure you're getting the customer feedback as you're going along the development cycle so you can continuously improve, and then after you've launched, still getting that feedback so you can improve even then. This is just a summary slide. I saw some people taking notes, so hopefully this is helpful. The reason why I'm sharing this today is because TELUS as an organization, we're also learning how to be customer-centric, being focused on customer centricity. We've had times where we've not gotten customer research and we've launched. We've had times where we've gotten customer research and our teams didn't have the courage to pivot and we launched something into market and then learned maybe the hard way. And if you're curious as to what happened to the TV team with the new package as I described, they had the courage to pivot. They realized that it was important to take into consideration this customer research and take a step back and say, how do we design for what customers are actually asking and saying and what they actually value rather than this pre-prescribed idea of what we thought they wanted from a business and technical lens. And I think that's the most exciting part of being in a role as a designer or as a customer insights or customer research role is when you start to see people on your business and technology teams also taking to heart the ideas and thoughts of customers and starting to design for them and with them. Thank you.